for putting this together. Also, just to make sure that we give credit where it's due, I wanted to make sure that I thank all of the people who have been involved in helping us with all of this. Real quick, let me make sure I mention all of their names right. Let me make sure. I wanted to say, number one, the Hazleton Innovation Collaborative. Thank you so much. It was because of them that this could really come together. And obviously, we also had a ton of other people who were involved and were helping us with all of these things. We had all of these great businesses too that we put on our flyer. All these different marketing agencies from across Northeastern Pennsylvania. So thanks for being a part of it. Tony, Jocelyn, Vito, Mike, and then Ryan, I'm the last one today. And then, yeah, just as far as all the groups and organizations, we had the Hazleton Chamber, Deca Studios, Socialocca, Canby Innovation Center, Posture Interactive, Think, and then Seven Mountains Creative. And yeah, there were a couple of us that got together and put this all together for everyone else. So thank you. To the other four here, and especially Jocelyn, you've done a lot. There were a lot of great people who helped get the word out there to all the other local chambers. So thanks so much. This has been a great success for us, and we're happy to have helped other small business owners as they're trying to navigate through all of this nonsense, really due to the pandemic and yeah, just a whole different landscape for business. So without any further ado, had to make sure I got those in correctly. Let's talk about Google Posts. So getting to the right place that I need to be here. Today, I want to talk to you guys about posting and updating your Google business listing. Now, over the course of this whole webinar series, we've had 4 other people before me present on a variety of topics. I know Tony kicked things off and then Jocelyn. So anyway, you guys have heard a lot, if you've been tuning into all of these, about different aspects of Google and Google My Business and what you can use it for. And also, I brought up a little bit of how we all came together to put this, webinar series on for everyone. And a lot of that reason was because, we all recognized and talked about the importance of Google right now when it comes to supporting all of these small businesses. Google has a ton of free tools, like an absolute ton of free tools out there that they use, that they allow people to use, for free, for no charge, to grow their businesses, to collect leads, to find new clients, to advertise. So Google has all of these awesome features out there, and people just don't know about them. And you might be here today because you do know about them. Maybe you're just looking to see if I can provide more insight into specific things. But for any of you, who don't know about all these tools or didn't know this until, hearing about this webinar series, please pay attention because you're going to learn so much. They offer so much that you'd be like, oh, wow, I can't believe that's just available. They offer so much that, people will lie and say, oh, I'll help you do this and get on Google. And the reality is it doesn't cost anything to do, but, people, if they know that and others don't, they'll try to take advantage of your business. So yeah, do some research if you haven't been, following this or haven't been introduced to it yet. Google tools are awesome. So today for this 5th webinar, we're going to talk about Google Posts, which is quite literally posting on Google. But what I want to do is I want to break down the actual, technicality of it is, what is a Google Post? Where is it going to go? What does it need to look like? And we'll just talk about, just the facts. And then I want to chat a little bit about where does posting on your Google My Business page actually take your business? What can it do for you? What's the benefit? And show some actual examples as to, what that looks like. So let's continue on and let's talk about what are Google Posts. So Google Posts, and this is straight from Google, so I hope it's not wrong. Google Posts allow businesses to post text and photos directly to their Google My Business page, which is a GMB. These posts appear on the local panel and on maps. And if used effectively, Google Posts can increase traffic to your website, boost sales, and engagement with your audience. Now, all of these posts are going to go to your Google My Business page profile. We're going to get into that in a sec so that you know where they're showing. But over the course of this series and past series that we've done, we've talked a lot about the Google My Business profile. And if you aren't familiar with that, I would have to say it's best for you to reference to another webinar or another teaching or video, just because getting on Google My Business is a whole, it's a whole I guess, process really to do. But once you are on it for your business, Google makes it easy for you to just, update the information and get these posts out there. So again, focusing on the posts for now, just to stick to that. Yeah, these posts go on your Google My Business page, and they're used to, drive traffic. They're going to help with sales, lead generation, updating your audience. We're going to get into all those reasons. So how to post on Google Business. Now, like most social media networks, ultimately, it's not too hard. You have a certain place on the back end where it'll say, click here to create a post. And so to run through the steps, you'd be on a computer, you'd sign into Google My Business. If you have multiple locations for your business, some businesses have different offices, different areas they're in, you would choose which location you want to be putting up the post. Then from the menu, you would click your posts. At the top of the page, you're going to choose the type of post that you want. And we'll get into this. There's an update, an event, offer, or product. Then you would click the elements that you want to add. So you could add, photos, videos, text, coupons, offers, and it will create a button with the post. So you would enter your relevant information for whatever it needs to relate to, whatever matches the post. And then you would choose to publish it, or you can preview it to make sure it looks good. If you choose to publish it, in the top right, you click publish. To get a preview, you would click preview, and then you can see what the post looks like with the text or the button before actually putting it out there. So again, at face value, me reading this means very little. I'm going to show you physically what this means, but again, it's 4 steps. Google's made it pretty simple. And once you do this once or twice, you'll be able to do this again and again very easily. Now, as we're talking about posting as well, it's important that we highlight the whole COVID-19 post situation. This was something that Google did, which has been awesome. It's been really great because businesses needed to get information to their customers and clients out there about how they were going to deal with COVID-19 protocol. So this was something really just helpful that Google did, saying, hey, all right, if you have a specific type of post for COVID-19, it has its whole own section. So Google, recognized this and said, let's deal with this. And then businesses can at least tell people what's going on. Again, this is very similar. You go on a computer, sign into Google My Business. If you have multiple locations, click the one you want. Then you go to post. Then at the top, you want to choose the COVID-19 update tab. And then you would choose from the following information. This might have even changed by this point because, this whole thing has been constantly moving. But the hours of operation, temporary closures, changes to how your business operates, takeout, updates, requests for support. You guys can read the rest. And there are so many more reasons too that businesses would say, hey, COVID-19, we've got to say something. Excuse me. Also, then when you have that figured out for your COVID-19 post, you can choose to publish it, or again, you can preview it. Either or. Then when it's ready, you obviously just put it out. But yeah, even Google recognized, hey, with COVID-19 going on with the pandemic, it would be important that we allow people to give updates to their audience, to their fans, to their customers, whatever it may be. So this is something else to keep in mind, a great addition from Google Business when it comes to posts. Oh, the 4 different types of Google posts. So I keep saying this, we have these different types of posts. This will explain that a little bit better. So we have product posts, what's new posts, event posts, and then offer posts. Now, I'll explain what they are here. And right after this, I promise I'm going to get into showing you examples of what these are. So a product post, is quite just literally going to be something that's emphasizing a product, whether it's a sale, maybe it's, related to a coupon or a special, offer, something that's going on. It's going to be, a picture of the product or something to do with the service that's being sold. That would be a product post. And like this says here, you can have a call to action button, with that post on Google. They'll let you put in a button with the post, and that can help to, clicks to your website. Getting phone calls, whatever the call to action is there for engagement. Then you've got your what's new posts, posts that provide general information about your business. That's kind of along the lines even of like the COVID-19 update thing, just, keeping your audience in tune with what's going on and saying, hey, this is new. Hey, today, my business Socialocca did this. So, and today we're working with this person. Here's our newsletter. So those are all things that, are worth putting out through Google. It's so important that You're keeping your audience updated with that stuff. And so many people are finding you on Google. So that's why they're offering this. You have your events, which again, if you have an event-based business, I mean, that's huge for some people. Might not have as much use for it depending on your business, but for anyone who has events or public gatherings, once things are safer that they need people to go to, you can post about it there. I mean, honestly, even all the virtual events, it all fills into the same category. You can, promote those just as easily. Event posts are the third type. And then the fourth is an offer. And then an offer would be something where you can actually put a view offer call to action button. And then that's something where they would actually click through, get the link to the coupon or get the code, and they'd be able to, use that in real time, go to the website, do what they need to do with that. So those are the 4 different types of Google posts. Again, this is according to the, Google guidebook manual here. How you use these is really up to you, and it's about that creativity. So let's get into that. We get it. We get the Bible of Google. Here it is. This is what they want you to do. But how are people actually making these posts happen? What are they doing? So talking about product post examples, here's 8 actual, real, applied reason to do so. So this donut denim jacket, what a great example. I'd wear that. I don't know about the rest. I would. So with something like this, they're setting it up. They create the post. They're going to drag in the photo. This was the photo that they put in. You would literally drag it from your computer right over. And you can see here that they have the different types of posts right here for you to choose from. So for a product post, you click product, drag it in, you can write it up. You're going to create the post with some more information. You can put your call to action, picture, boom, done. And then you've got a buy button. So a post like that is great. I mean, you could promote a new product. You could promote something you're trying to get rid of, whatever it may be. That's an example of a product post. A what's new post, similar, but it doesn't contain the incentive for the viewer to buy necessarily. This is more something like they want you to learn more. Like this example here is capitalizing on, oh, this is our 5th year in business. And then they say something nice. You can learn more by clicking the button. It's just a good way to, show your company growing and build some community. It's a nice way to keep in touch with people. So yeah, that's a what's new post. And again, I'm sure you're sitting there thinking there's a lot of things you could use that for. An event post, very similar kind of to the what's new. But again, this is to drive people to events. That could be in physical, face-to-face events, or it could just be a virtual thing. So many of those are popping up now. So this is definitely something to keep in mind. Nonprofits can benefit from this a lot for any events they do. Anything where they have annual dinners or regular events or any consistent gathering. This is a great place to promote it. Just put it up on Google. Make sure that people who are searching for it see it if they can. And then offer posts. Again, buy one, get one free. You would click the button to redeem it online, and there's actually a valid, date allotment where you can only use it for a certain amount of time. So this is, something that any retail business, any online e-commerce business would be like, okay, this is great. A coffee shop, food, whatever it may be. This is a great physical way to put something out there. And if people come to your restaurant, your coffee shop, your bar, whatever it is, and say, hey, I saw this, I want to use this coupon, then at least it's working. I mean, that's a real physical way of knowing whether people are seeing it or not. Again, offer posts, great for retail, makes total sense for that. And like I said, I wanted this to be a little bit more interactive. Now here, let's let the awesome GIF show you how it's really done. So what it's demonstrating here is how you would actually go and you would post and you can publish, and how you would edit these posts once they're up. So again, I'm going to let this play through. I know you guys are watching the mouse and everything, but yeah, editing or deleting a post, these posts are going to show up, in your feed, and anyone's going to be able to see them. So if you do put up something and you don't want to have it around, you can go in and you can change that text. You can also go in and you can just delete it in general. And then you would just get it out. Now, again, this isn't showing, a live example, but it's just that easy to do. So you can put up what you need, and just like any other post on social media, you can edit it, you can take it down. So it's not, terribly different than, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be. Just wanted to show this so you guys can see it. This is what the back end of Google Business looks like, and we'll get into that some more too. Are Google posts free? Google posts are completely free. Guys, never listen to anybody. I gotta go real candid here. Never listen to anybody, especially someone who says, oh, I'm in marketing. To set up your Google account, it's gonna cost this amount of money. No, if they wanna charge you for the service of their time, that's one thing. But just, yeah, don't get fooled like some people. It does not cost money to put your business on Google. We could go and take any of your businesses right now on another screen and we can start registering it. Yeah, they'd have to send you a piece of mail and you have to, authenticate a code, but that's besides the point. It doesn't cost any physical like application fee or anything. And that's something that a lot of people get confused about. Some of you are probably sitting there like, okay, Ryan, we get this. No, like some people do fall for it. It's more important that I say that to make sure people don't, get fooled and become a victim of something like that. So yeah, just be cautious with that stuff. Again, like I said, all of these are online. Google provides them all free. Anything that you'd have to pay for is extra, like ads or something like that. So yeah, just making sure people are aware. But anyway, yes, they are free. I already explained this. Just you would have to be managing the Google My Business profile. They're less prominent after 7 days. That's pretty important. I wish I could circle this more. 7 days after a post has been sitting there, it's not going to show to as many people. It says the only exceptions are event and offer posts if they continue and they're valid for a longer time or the event is still coming up. It makes sense. It adjusts to those. So yeah, do not pay for Google posts. What you would want to invest in would be the content that you're posting, or, investing into the events you're putting on to post about, or, making sure that you run specials for the offers and the coupons. That's where, your time and energy should go. But as far as getting this all up, once it's set up, you just create the post and you go in there and you follow those couple of steps. So hopefully after all of that, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with Google My Business and getting posts up there, or at least saying, oh, this is really easy. I didn't need to listen to Ryan for all this long. Hopefully that's the answer. And again, if you're still wondering where you would see these, because not everyone's so familiar with Google, this is where you would find your posts. So this, again, great GIF right here, showing you where they would be on a desktop computer. So you'd scroll all the way to the bottom for this, tie place that looks very good. And you'd be able to see their post right there. And it says they posted it a day ago on Google. It says learn more. So that's just a what's new post, and then people can click on that. And then furthermore, if you're on a phone, like, I don't know, 98% of everybody else at this point, everyone's on their phone. You can also view all the posts right from your phone. They actually make it easier because it's right there. See, the post button's right there. And you click that and boom, done. There they are. You can scroll through. So yeah, Google is definitely trying to be competitive. And I would argue strongly that they just are. I mean, it doesn't matter that they don't have everybody on their phone all day on Google My Business. That's not really the point. It's about it working for the small businesses and the entrepreneurs. And then we use that side so that everyone else can just find that stuff by Googling. So yeah, should reemphasize it again. Google is so damn important. It's scary because it's like, am I putting enough time into it? I don't even know. Should I be getting more Google reviews? But when you think about it, Google is a business that has literally become a part of our vocabulary because of how convenient it is and how consistently it's used. It's not that we say we're going to go look something up on the internet. We say we're going to Google it. We say we're going to Siri it. And those searches go here. So again, that's the biggest point of this. It's just to be prepared for all of the people that are going out there and might find your business. Oh, one last thing, using Google Posts just to engage. We talked about the types of posts, but to give some more ideas, you would use Google Posts for seasonal offers, same-day flash sales, product launches, promotions, updates. Those could be emergency or not emergency, either way, positions, jobs, hiring, new arrivals, product releases, all of that. So those are just some suggestions from Google. They said, this is what you can do. You can see here's a coupon. Again, the Junzi Kitchen. Yeah, you guys can probably take this and apply it to your own business pretty quickly too. So I do have a Q&A. And I should say we're a little, I guess, just at a disadvantage today because we don't have Jocelyn readily available. She can't be here the entire time. So I'm going to try to monitor the Q&A a little better than I got started on time here. And I'll try to watch for any questions. Take your time. Anything that has to do with the Google tools. Again, I said at the beginning of this, You guys had already seen, 4 other webinars talking about other parts of Google as well. If you have other questions about it, I am happy to take a stab at it. Worst case scenario, I would say, hey, send us an email and we can forward that to someone who might know more. But yeah, there's a couple of you in here. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them out there. I'm happy to answer. I will check the chat and just try to have that available. There also is a Q&A feature in Zoom. A lot of you probably know that and might be able to use it. And thank you too. I see a lot of you in here that I know. Thank you so much for even coming out and listening. We have a question, Ryan. Question: the more you post on Google, does that help your Google ranking and such? So yes, Chelsea. Yes, it has to. So that gets into a whole algorithm question. And for anyone who's familiar with marketing, it's always like, oh, what's the algorithm? How are we going to do this? The posting Google posts has to work into your SEO ranking and just your Google ranking in general, because number one, it makes more sense for Google to prioritize those businesses over the ones that aren't. But to give a better reason, it's just because of the constant crawling of Google, constantly adding to your listing. Your listing is, it's going to encompass all of that into your overall ranking. So for example, my marketing agency name is Socialocca. So anything that says Socialocca out there is, garnering, relevance and weight in the search engines, which, to put that in less dramatic marketing terms, it just means that the more people that are searching for the name of something, the more often that the search engine might suggest it to people searching for it, which is, I guess a dumbed down way of saying it, but it's the truth. So yeah, putting all these posts up, it helps 1000% because Google's reading the offers and the events. And the other thing too is one of the features is that they said that, if it'll die down in 7 days, whatever, the post won't be as relevant, but all of those keywords are still relevant for the time, and any offers or events that last, those are there the whole time. So those would just build, clout to there. I think that's just, I really believe too, Chelsea, that it's going to go so much in that direction that I wouldn't be surprised if Google eventually, it was obvious. It was oh, people who post on Google get way more traffic than the people who don't. Because all they have to do is stiff arm us all and be like Facebook for a day and go, hey, you want to use Google? Use it a lot more. And it just kind of force us to be on there using it. Similar to how Instagram and Facebook said, okay, you want to get your stuff seen? Pay us money. They pretty much backed everybody into a corner there. Google could do the same thing if they really wanted to. So yeah, that's my dark opinion on it, but it's just the truth. That's why I even honestly volunteered to do this. I said to Jocelyn, I was like, yeah, this is really important. People need to be doing this. I didn't even realize it until, I was like, oh, I should have started this a while ago. But it's just also important for businesses, everything. Oh, thank you. Cool. I'm glad that makes sense to you. Katie, I need some help listing a second location on Google after the first location was verified. I know this isn't what the training was about. Can you point me in the, of course, I could point you here actually, because to be frank, I think other people might benefit from that too, Katie. Let me go back into my just cockpit of different tabs here. So I loaded up some stuff. I was shuffling through it earlier. There were a couple of different ways I wanted to possibly take this at the end. So I prepped a couple of different pages. This was one that I wanted to bring up in case we want to talk about different locations. Because Katie, from the Google My Business page, and I'm letting this sit here for a second because you guys can kind of look at this and see how it relates to everything we talked about, the different tabs here, the COVID-19 offer, update, add event, product. So for the different locations though, when you're in one, I'm in my Socialocca LLC right now, you would go down to businesses. And then under businesses, I have access to different businesses that I've helped for projects, but then also my own website right here. So when it comes to adding these next businesses, Katie, you're going to go to the add business button and you can add a single business. So again, and then this would be self-explanatory. You're going to be like, okay, I get it. But something that you might be getting stuck on, which wouldn't be your fault, is that every time you add a business, you have to verify it. So do you see where this says verified right here? So these verified things are because of a letter that Google sends you. So Google verification letter for. So what they do is they send you a letter in the mail through a postcard, and you're supposed to put that letter, this code, we don't need to watch the whole video, but what you would do is you would put the code into Google on your end with the Google My Business, and then it would, say, oh, this business is real. You got it at your address, yada, yada. Yeah, it sends you 6 digits, and then you would go through and do it that way. Here, just to kind of skip through. Yeah, just to show this live. Yeah, it's verify location. So if you didn't get this, that might be why, Katie, because to be honest, I've been trying to get a couple of things verified for people, and it hasn't worked for about 3 months now. I got one postcard the other day, but it was 3 months late and it expired. So, hey, that happens. The mail's just kind of a mess. That's besides the fact. But I mean, when that does catch up and they're able to catch up on that, I think that hopefully the whole Google verification process will be easier. Really hoping so. But I hope that answers that somehow. Just the whole postcard thing. Watch out for that, and maybe some other people will notice that too. Let me see. Oh, we got a couple more Q&A. The more you've done. All right, and I'm going to mark that I answered this live. You're welcome, Katie. You're welcome. Jamie, thanks, man. Thanks for even being here. Thanks for helping listen. All right, I've got those marked answered. Guys, I'm happy to stick around still too and continue to chat. I know that there might be multiple questions. Oh, here, hold on. We got one more. So for nonprofits with events, let me restart that. For nonprofits with events, since so much is uncertain, maybe a good idea to post an event update. Oh, yeah. So Jamie, to answer your question with a little banter as to what you could do with this just weird time, maybe a good way of doing this too, something I can bring up, would be just social media in general. So right here, this is my website for Socialocca. And what I wanted to highlight was some of the content that I've done. So this is just a site where, a part of our site where people can go and then they can sign up to, buy content. So $25 a piece, whatever. But the point that I want to show you is the different styles of what we do. So, for different businesses, entrepreneurs, clients, whatever it may be that we're working with, it takes different posts every day. So depending on how many pieces we're doing, we're coming up with all different ideas. Some of them are random national holidays just to have engagement. Some of them are meant to be super engaging. Some of them are meant to directly, educate or promote services. Some of them like this showing where we're located. That's just, an update to say, hey, here's where we are, here's what we're doing. So I think in your case, what you want to do though is you want to figure out like what kind of posts you're going to be doing. Are you going to be posting, about the events all the time? And if so, like, what are you going to do? So as far as how you could utilize that, Jamie, I mean, milking events is always something I tell people to do, just because you almost can't ever milk it enough. Because no matter how many times you can do a countdown for every day, and there's still going to be that guy at the end of it who's going to be like, oh man, I should have gotten my ticket for Bonnaroo. And someone's going to be like, well, we've asked every day for 300 days. What were you thinking? That's the reality of it. So I think that, yeah, when you think about, how to keep things active, you need to think about what you can do to populate this content. Holidays, staying trendy. And again, that might sound silly, but like, here's something we did, National Homemade Cookies Day. Sounds silly? Yeah, it worked. People liked that post more than the rest of them, mostly people love things they can relate to, because it's tough. It's tough to make every post look like $1 million. It's really difficult, and that's why people even come to me and say, hey, Ryan, I need your help. So when you're thinking about this for a nonprofit, especially, the events might not have happened yet, but you can still hype them up because they are going to happen. But don't be afraid in the meantime to highlight things, even if you do think they're a little silly. National Cooking Day mattered because DeVita's Kitchen and Tile sells, renovate, new kitchens and equipment, and makeovers. So, cooking is totally related to that. Cooking cookies is totally related. It's not like this stuff is, not on the point. There's so much related, especially to the American Cancer Society, that you can celebrate or highlight or bring up that would be relevant to the organization. So sorry, I guess a little bit of a backwards answer because I basically told you, yeah, promote your events a lot, but also promote other stuff in between. But I think that's the thing is like, not everything has to be like perfect. Like it doesn't all have to be like a 3-paragraph expert post. And I know that like an organization like yours, it's hard to not want to deliver that because I understand people will sometimes expect that. And some of the caliber of your content is, very solid and, serious compared to most posts. Yeah, I wouldn't take it so seriously during this hiatus in between. Everything's pretty weird right now. Everything's pretty weird right now, you know? So anything you can do to highlight events, highlight the fact that they're going to be happening soon. Spring will eventually just be the norm and summer will be done. Thank goodness, or excuse me, summer will be the norm and winter will be done. Whew, hope it's not the other way around. And that's what you really want to convey to people. At least I think right now, I think people are itching to get the heck out of their homes. I think they're stressed. I think they're upset. I think that now, you know, as we're trying to hold everybody over with content, you know, giving them feel good content never doesn't work. Promote those events, give them something to look forward to. Sorry, a little bit of a lengthy answer, but it's a good question because that just brings up the whole idea of like, what are we all supposed to do right now? Because to be honest, I ask myself that every month too. It's like, is this too sensitive? Is this too insensitive? It's tough. You never really know. Hey, I'm happy to answer anything else. Thanks for being so good. You guys have all been great in the chat. It was a small group today, but honestly, it was kind of nice. Thanks for the good questions and listening. I know a lot of you here can probably benefit from some of this. A lot of you could have probably taught me some things too, which is funny. Make sure we're getting this all here. Michelle, you're absolutely welcome. Thanks for even attending. I really appreciate it. I should probably bring up something for a follow-up. Hold on. Let me think here. What would Jocelyn want me to do? Guys, I guess one thing I should say is in the future, you'll always be able to go to different Facebook pages and different pages. This is through the hazeltonchamber.org, but we are constantly putting up different webinars and events that you can register for. Again, all of these were free. So if you registered from the first one with Tony, you would have been able to sit and then get the rest of the links and, you know, just seeing all of them for free. And no worries if you didn't. You know, these are going to be something you can watch again. We're going to do more, but definitely keep up to date with your local chambers and what they're doing to provide this information. No joke, it is very helpful. Their whole job is to inform you of things that can help your business. So it's worth subscribing to that newsletter and just being aware. So yeah, this is the last one of this series. We'll take any final questions, obviously, but just to kind of, you know, prep for what's coming up, we're going to have to do more. This whole spring thing is going to bring about a bunch of businesses who are going to be, you know, converting back to in-person, online, everything. So I think there's going to be more to talk about. If you're interested, definitely hang around. Definitely, you know, follow the posts and content and updates from, you know, the Chamber, Think, Can Be, all the organizations that are, you know, putting this information out there. And they should be able to help. Michelle, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Oh, Sarah, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you can find me helpful after all of these times of hearing me speak. Thanks, Katie. You have a great day too. I appreciate it. I was glad people could tune in. Jamie, good luck. Yep. And I'll talk to you soon. I'm glad that could help with the posts. Yeah, you guys are doing fine. I know you're just trying to get your extra information, some more knowledge. All right. Hey, thank you so much for everybody who's watching. It is 1:40. It's been about 40 minutes. It is Tuesday. And if you guys have more to do today, please feel free to jump off and go ahead and do it. Again, this will be something that can be watched again in the future. And just stay tuned for more posts from me, Jocelyn, and everybody else who is involved. We will share when we've got something going on again, when we're featuring other speakers from other local marketing agencies on other topics. It's becoming a thing. So just stay tuned. And we'll update you guys as we have good opportunities for you and other businesses to learn. All right. Thanks so much. Got a couple of you in here still. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. If you would like to, though, feel free to drop any final questions. If you would like, that's fine. And I will wait for 5 minutes just to answer them. And I'll be here. Let's